He was the most high-profile and controversial scalp at the New South Wales selection table. And now a new-look Jarryd Hayne had the chance to show Blues boss Ricky Stewart just what he was missing out on 48 hours out from this year's State of Origin opener. It was no surprise that the dynamic number one was heavily involved from the outset, safe and secure under the high ball, and ever present in attack as the expansive Eels attempted to exploit a defensive line, missing the steal of Blues reps Paul Gallen and Cade Snowden. The Sharks were acutely aware of the threat Hayne presented and tried to shut him down. But that just left them thin in other parts of the field.
To Robson, shows it to Hindmarsh, shows it again to Moi Moi. He works Ben Smith into a beautiful gap, and the launch forward will score the opening try for Parramatta. Lovely play by Jeff Robson.
Some critics had suggested that Hayne could have been worth a punt at pivot for New South Wales. And ball skills like this give further weight to that theory.
Hayne, good quick ball to the outside for Atkins. What a ball by Jarryd Hayne, and the Eels have their second try and a double-figure lead.
The Blue and Golds were far from being a one-man band, though, as evidenced by this sensational cross kick by Casey Maguire.
Puts an early kick on over the top for Luke Burns. It doesn't get much better than that. What a terrific kick, and the speed of Bird was absolutely blinding.
Parramatta might have acquired Chris Sando for next season. However, their current halfback Jeff Robson was in superb touch, whether passing or grubbering.
Away to Robson, who kicks for Chris Walker. He'll win the race, and he gets it down as well.
The well-travelled Walker showed his enormous experience by timing his run to the millimetre and getting the green light from upstairs. It was the Eels' fourth try in 24 minutes and had them in total control with half the journey gone. Cronulla winger Matthew Wright tried rubbing the Eels' idol for good luck, but it didn't have any effect. A voodoo doll was what they really required to interrupt Robson.
Grubbering, this time for himself, coming up with the ball as well, going over the top, and Jordan Atkins will have the second try of his night. And once again, it was off the good work of Jeff Robson.
If Robson wasn't rolling the ball through, Hayne was hoisting it to the heavens. Either way, the Sharks were vulnerable.
Put it high in the air, some pressure on Isaac Gordon. Forget the repeat set, because coming up with it, Justin Horrow is high above the pack to keep the points coming for the Eels.
Para surrendered a sizable lead the previous weekend against the Cowboys, but there was never any threat of that happening here.
Good hands, and it goes to Lasala, who is away. He's got Walker on the outside, Bird on the inside. Go you good thing, Luke. Bird will score underneath the black dots.
It had been a horrible trip west for the boys from the Shire, but at least they managed to avoid being totally embarrassed when former Eel Talima Tautai got over the line in the concluding minutes. 40 points to 6 was how it finished, with Luke Bird contributing half of that tally and Hayne putting his hand up for a New South Wales recall after overcoming his initial disappointment.
This is the best way I can, sort of get my, obviously emotions back up, and it's always good winning at home for the fans.
David Rowlands, Big Pond Sport.